Hey guys, thanks for joining me. My name's David and this is my channel. Today's video, focusing on what's missing in your life will stop it from flowing. This is absolutely key to understand, so much to where you know it's true. Because, and that's what I want to talk about in this video, is what happens exactly as we start focusing and looking at what's missing in our life. Energetically, what's happening inside. Well, if we take that idea of that lower perspective and then higher perspective, and we've talked about this before, these two need to come together. And officially, they are together. However, that lower perspective that believes that things are missing in its life, and therefore looking outside for the answers of everything that's missing, once it believes that and holds belief systems that will reinforce that idea that things are missing, then it will move against the higher perspective of itself. Now, they are together, but the belief systems that you hold that says things are missing in your life, that things should be better, that keep you in a state of wanting and needing and insisting that the life should be different than it is, holds resistance between those two halves. And the best way to explain it is if you tuned into a radio station, although that radio station, that tower, or that satellite would be much bigger and hold way more information, and you're just a little tiny dial, so to speak, and you're trying to tune into it to receive that information. That would be the idea of the lower self and the higher self, but they would have to be on the same frequency. We've talked about this before. There needs to be an equality between these two parts. This divine signal that is always going on, we have to raise ourselves to be able to match it. When we do not do that simply by, and the only way not to do that, and this is the key to understand, is to talk about what's missing in your life, to think about what's missing in your life, to consistently focus on what's missing, which would be the negative side. That would be like you're driving down the road, you listen to a nice clear station. We've all had this experience. And then you cross the line, maybe to another state. I mean, this is how it's happened for me. And all of a sudden it gets snowy. And then you start feeling resistance between those two parts. That snow, every other word, right? is your insistence that moves against your higher self. Because that's what happens every time we think or focus or speak about something that's missing in our life. All of a sudden that clear station goes, and we start creating resistance within it. Because, no longer, we're now focused on what's missing in our life. As we look out at the world and say, I can't believe that happened to them. That's missing. What is it missing? It's missing their well-being, missing their abundance. That's their higher self. They're moving through an experience. Their higher self will give that to them when they're ready. But the more we start focusing on where things are and say, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. Why is that happening? I can't believe that's happening. Wake up in our life going, I got to do this today, I got to do this today. Can you see how things are missing? You have to really sit with this, because the idea of what's missing can be tricky to see. When you're focusing on pain, you're missing well-being. When you're focusing on the money you don't have, you're missing your abundance. When you focus on why someone's doing something, they're missing their joy, their happiness, their wisdom. So these two parts, where are they at in your life? How far apart are they? How much, truthfully, are you focusing on what's missing in your life? Because the more you miss, the more you focus in that direction of what's missing in your life, the more you look towards negativity, the more resistance you put in between you and the frequency of your source, who happens to hold everything you want. Because it's about feeling. When you feel abundant, because that's the only thing you're missing. Abraham Hicks would say, it's the feeling world. You're missing the feeling of abundance. You're missing the feeling of prosperity. You're missing the feeling of well-being. You're missing the feeling of love or joy or excitement or passion. And then that feeling is the wholeness of these two coming together. Once that feeling comes together, the vibration then rises, and then the manifestations will come according to the vibration and feeling. And not to mention, your thoughts will shift and change more into a positive place. Feeling, beliefs, and thoughts together is what creates and manifests your world. Does that make sense? That's why the feeling, the belief, and the thought have to be healed first before the manifestations can come, before your world can shift and change in a physical way. It is an inside journey, then an outside journey. So the more we recognize, where's the feelings I'm looking for? Well, look deep down in your heart. You'll find them there. Your higher perspective is sending them to you. What does abundance feel like? Or rather, how can you find it in your life currently? Go look for the abundance in your life now, and that will build a stronger feeling of abundance that you will then receive and raise that vibration to your higher perspective. See, in Tai Chi, you can't just relax your shoulder. Hey, relax. You got to relax. You got to relax. It doesn't work that way. You can't relax your shoulder, but you can sink your energy into the feet. Do you see? Sink your energy into your center. Breathe into your stomach. Or imagine a sinking feeling all the way down to the ground. Now your shoulder will relax. See, our focus is important. And the more we recognize it's not about just letting go on one side. People have tried that forever. I just got to let go. I got to let go. I got to let go of all this stress, and I got to let go of all this failure or worry or doubt. And guess what? It never works, does it? It's very difficult, isn't it? It's not letting go. That's one side. That will feed the negative side because it makes it very difficult, because this universe is whole. It's focusing on what you have will let go of what you don't. Focusing on your strength and power and courage will let go of your weakness that you tend to have, your smallness or whatever it is you hold. Do you see? It's one or the other. It's not just letting go of one. You can't let go of negative. You have to focus on the positive. Focus on your abundance. Focus on the money that's flowing in. Focusing on the businesses and how it's working. Focusing on your clients. Focus on your students. Focus on the relationships and how good they are and how wonderful they are. And that will let go of what's missing in them. And then you will see, oh man, they're both not here. I have to make a decision. And then you will see what I'm talking about. Either you will see everything that's missing, or you'll see everything that's there. But there is no in between. The mind puts them together that makes it seem like they hold both. But the world cannot hold both. It has to hold one or the other. And that's why he says, those who have will have more. But those who have not, even what they have, will be taken away. That's why he says, love thy enemy, Jesus says. You have to switch in an absolute way. You have to focus on what you have, or focus on what you want, or focus on what you are. And by doing that, you will let go of the other side. But you can't just let go of the other side. We've tried it. Right? Who hasn't tried to, I just got to relax, I got to let go, and oh, the mind won't allow me. You cannot relax your shoulder, but you can drop your energy in your feet. You see, you can replace it. I recommend replace what's missing in your life to what is in your life. You see. So there's 3 processes that I do that I would recommend highly. One, we've talked about before, what can heal these two is I allow all things. The more you allow what comes into your life, you see it as perfect, you see it, give it a positive way, or keep a positive state, the more these two will merge together. I allow this to be as it is. I allow this to be as it is, you see. You know, this week I had a pain or a resistance in my hip, and I just allowed it to be as it is. Bring me the clarity I need to receive. I know I need to experience this, otherwise I wouldn't be experiencing this. So I give it over to my higher perspective. I give it over to what I can't see, and I allow it to be as it is. It lasted probably half a day. It didn't last very long at all. That allowing just dissolved it, you see. So that's the first process, allow. The second one is, there is nothing missing in my life. That's exactly what they're talking about when they say, give it over to God. When he talks about bring the ego to God, raise yourself up to that God frequency, that is just like saying, there's nothing missing in my life. I believe there's nothing missing. That's a beautiful vibration. I recommend it. There's nothing missing in my life. Just let go of the whole idea that something can be missing. And then say, there's nothing missing in anyone else's life. We are eternal. How can there be something missing? Nothing's missing. It is the understanding or belief or focus on what could be missing in your life that is tearing you away from your source. I assure you, that's it. That's it. Because your source is saying, well, hold on, I have it. What do you mean? If you're looking at what's missing, then you are moving away from me. And that's the cause of all resistance, negativity, pain, disease. All of it is coming from tearing yourself away from your own source. We do it to ourselves based on our focus of what's missing in our life. There's nothing missing. Just say to yourself, there's nothing. And then feel the release of resistance that happens from that statement. And then feel it with all your might. There's nothing missing. And the third process I would give is to focus on what you have. Make positive aspects. Write lists. Talk about it with others. Share your clarity as I am sharing all my clarity with you. I do it so I can receive it back. Because I know that what I give out in the form of truth or love or unconditional love, appreciation, joy, my passion, my excitement, comes back to me and moves out into the world somehow. It trickles all the way through the pond. And we can each do it by sharing the goodness in our life, sharing the happiness in our life, sharing the well-being of who we are, sharing fun stories, sharing loving moments. You see, believing and having faith that things are working out, trusting that how the world works, trusting that we are one with God, one with love, one with joy, until we feel our heart just like this. We can focus. Abraham Hicks said, you came here in this low vibration world of good and bad, so to speak, and resistance, because you knew that you were a master at focus. And you had the ability to focus in a good way. A focus to keep your energy flowing instead of focusing in a way that slows your energy down. Recognize what it feels like when you speak or think things that slow your energy down. Can't you feel it? We know what it's like. We can use it as our guidance. That didn't feel good to me. It slowed my energy down. When I looked over there and talked about that person, I didn't feel good. Don't do it. Pay attention to your energy. Spend 10 minutes a day and feel the flow of your energy and say, I'm going to pay attention to my solar plexus today. And I'm going to pay attention to how it feels. And if I don't feel good, I'm not going to think it or see it or focus upon it. But it's not that I'm going to let it go. I'm going to recognize there must be another way to see it, to focus on it, to think about it. Replace one with the other. That's the only way. You cannot just let go of something. You have to replace it with something else. You see, if I look at that person and say, man, they're sick and man, they're reflecting back to me this feeling of sickness and loss. Okay, well, that doesn't feel good. Well-being is coming. I know they are an eternal being. I know things will flow in. Man, I'm excited because I know there's clarity going to come into their life based on this experience. And you can turn that around in your own mind. You see, we have the ability to see this in a new way. That's our superpower, to take that which is negative and turn it into that which is positive. There is not one moment, one circumstance, one past event, one anything that you believe has been taken away from you or seems to be missing that you can't turn around with your focus, your speech, and your thought to make it feel better, to see it in a new way. Challenge yourself on a regular basis. I'm going to become a master at transcending negativity. I'm going to become a master at finding another way to see this and to say this and to share this and watch your life shift, because that's your superpower. I don't care where you are or what's going on in your life. You have the ability to turn your negative into a positive. It will always be there. It will always be present, and it will be the defining part of where your life goes next. Does that make sense? Become that master at looking at the positive and letting go. Finally, let go. Put it on the shelf. I'm no longer going to do this. I'm no longer going to see what's missing, because I'm going to become the master at seeing what is here and watch the tide shift. Because we've all heard go with the flow. When you let go of negativity, let go of what's missing, you will just go right with the current of life. And you will see it takes care of you perfectly, effortlessly, and joyously. Excellent. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this. This is my passion, of course, as always, to give in order to receive back. And it is always up to you what you receive. Keep the comments coming. I love hearing them. Thank you for your love and support. Hit the like button that's speaking to you, and continue to subscribe and share. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation to all of you.